Hello and welcome to the show. Today, the hospitable couch is being featured by the very young entrepreneur, Mr. Raghav Verma, who is the co-founder of Chaios. Chaios की जर्नी उन्होंने कैसे स्टार्ट करी, अपनी एक हाई पेइंग आईआईटी जॉब को ड्रॉप किया उन्होंने, और उसके बाद उन्होंने एक ऐसी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करी जिससे आज हमारे पास इंडिया में 200 से ज़्यादा उनके स्टोर्स हैं। सो आइए जानते हैं उनकी जर्नी के बारे में कि कैसे उन्होंने एक एफ&बी ब्रांड को इतना बड़ा बनाया, एक इमोशन को कनेक्ट करा विद द मीडियम ऑफ अ चाय। लेट्स हैव मिस्टर राघव वर्मा एट द हॉस्पिटल काउच। Warm welcome to the show. So how are you feeling today?
Thank you so much. Very
So
good.
thank you very much for giving your time. So I want to, before we go into the things, मैं ये जानना चाहता हूँ कि चायोस जो एक ब्रांड बना, so how did you happen to be in the brand? Because I know your history, means your life story, being from McKinsey to Opera, then founding one more startup prior to this. So please elaborate on your journey.
So, for me, the idea when I quit my job was always कि कुछ बड़ा करना है. I wanted to create something that could impact a lot of people, and I think that was the major motivation. कि ठीक है, like there was a great job. I had a lot of learning there, but मतलब कुछ create कर पाना and being able to work in a space that is actually changing how things actually operate. Uh, that was more the motivation. Isliye education was the first thing that we worked in. Uh, we had created a video platform, worked with engaging multiple teachers. This was Prep Square before Chios, and then with Chios also it was such a fundamental insight कि in a chai drinking country में how can good chai not be available outside of home? And we felt, yeah, this is the problem that is worth solving.
प्रॉब्लम भी, एंड आई फील कि ये जो एक वैक्यूम था, मीन्स आज की आप किसी कंट्री में है, या मैं इंडिया की बात लेता हूँ स्पेसिफिकली। सो आज हम बाहर जाते हैं, वी गेट अ वेरी गुड कॉफी, बेवरेजेस पे वी हैव मेनी थिंग्स, बट एक चाय ओरिएंटेड ब्रांड, जो चाय मतलब वी स्टार्ट आवर डे विद चाय, एंड इट इज विद एवरीबडी, इट इज विद एवरीबडी, एवरी एज ग्रुप हैज चाय, ठीक है। बाहर जाकर के it to order a chai, it was something, people are feeling very embarrassed or they are not comfortable enough. But एक उसके बाद we see market में there is a green color background with white color font and it chais. Okay, so chai उसमें chai. But जब आप enter करते हैं चाय उसमें, it is something very very heartwarming kind of a thing. उसमें तो सबसे पहले एक देखता हूँ ना मैं, मेरे वाली चाय। सो ये जो इसका कॉन्सेप्ट है, ये कैसे आया?
So when we were looking to start Chios, बहुत सारे customers से बात करी. So we asked a very very simple question. यार, what does your favorite chai look like? Or what is your perfect chai like? And every customer had a different answer to that. So someone said कि यार मुझे तो ज़्यादा कड़क अदरक वाली चाय चाहिए. किसी ने बोला मुझे बिना चीनी की चाहिए. Someone said I like my chai with इलायची soft. Someone said I want ज़्यादा दूध वाली, कम दूध वाली. So every customer had their own idea of a perfect chai. And we said कि if we are creating a chai brand, which customers should prefer, uh, then that has to be built with that insight only. That हर किसी को अपनी type की चाय देनी है. Otherwise, we would not be doing justice to what people actually wanted. So वहाँ से the concept of मेरी वाली चाय came. The second thing which we realized was कि food is a very important part of the chai occasion. So in the morning you'll have poha with your chai, upma with your chai. In the evening you'll have poda with your chai. You would have cookie, pan maska, vada pav, chili cheese toast. So ये सारी चीजें ना, they like चाय कभी ना अकेले नहीं पी जाती. It is always with some snack.
Accompanied with some kind of a snack that a person prefers.
So from day one, that snack that goes with your chai has been a very very important part of the entire chai experience. Most cafes did not have food as a priority. It was more like कि हाँ ठीक है, कॉफी ले रहे हो तो कॉफी के साथ एक केक ले लिया. We worked a lot extensively on our food menu. All across the country, whatever good food is there that goes with chai, we want to have all of those snacks on our menu.
तो इसमें I find chai also very a place where a person who loves chai मतलब वो जाकर के वो जो एक कंफर्ट लेवल होता है वे रीच दैट एक्सटेंट। तो ये जो एक हॉस्पिटैलिटी के सेक्टर में आप लोगों ने स्टार्ट करा एज अ चाइल्ड, तो एक जो हॉस्पिटैलिटी का जो एक तरीका होता है व्हाट वी एक्सपीरियंस इट,
Yes.
हाउ डू यू ट्रेन योर
Hmm.
पीपल दोज हु सर्व द पीपल एट और द कस्टमर्स और द क्लाइंट?
तो देखो, first of all, lot of respect for all the hospitality professionals. It is a very very tough industry. हम जब गुस्से थे, we did not know anything about hospitality. We did not know how F&B businesses operate. तो हम लोग ने तो उन लोगों से बात कर करके ही सीखा है. We spoke to people across various brands. We met so many cafe managers, area managers, people who joined us. They have actually taught us कि हाँ यार, what does it take to run an F&B brand. Uh, Having said that, I think हमने ना पहले 2 साल में, me and my co-founder Nitin, we literally ran the stores ourselves. We were the cafe managers of our cafes. हम लोग ने खुद देखा है, एक एक कस्टमर से बात करी है, to understand that what does a customer expect from their chai experience. And वहाँ से ही we were able to craft that entire कि what is that ideal experience look like. And then from there all of that training and everything came into place. So for example, remembering a customer's name, because chai is a very high repeat behavior. So maybe in other fast food brands, customers might come rarely, few times in a year. But in chaios we see customers who are coming like almost every week. There are some customers who come every day also, right? So remembering those repeat customers' names, remembering their order, trying to make it easy for them to go through that entire ordering process. So वहाँ से the entire thing started, and now we've integrated a lot of technology also to remember your favorite order, to have a wallet so that you don't have to always pay every time. You can do that faster. And then just that focus on service experience, that आपको time से order मिल रहा है. In case your order is not made correctly, we have a Chayos guarantee. So Chayos guarantee means that any order which is made wrong, we will replace it free of cost, no questions asked. So customer can come back and say, I ordered for adrak elaichi chai, I'm not happy with the elaichi in this, please remake it. So ये कुछ कुछ चीजें करी हमने. We started to learn by talking to customers, and then when we started to scale that, then we got in training, we got in technology, and then we just built on.
Talking of technology, I believe that Chayos is one such brand which has inculcated technology into a beverage which is so Indian and so human oriented that a person cannot think of that a chai can be made by a robot, right? So I have had this illusion कि अगर Chayos में internet ना हो तो आपको चाय नहीं. So I want to just have your view on this, like मतलब एक एक वो जर्नी जो मतलब एक होती है कि आपकी एक सोच है कि हाउ टू इनकलकेट टेक्नोलॉजी, बिकॉज बैक इन 2013 आई सपोज वी, सो वो जो टेक्नोलॉजी का एक पार्ट था, हाउ डिड यू फील, मतलब एक वो सोच कैसे आई?
The idea came from that, what can technology do for us
ओके, हाउ कैन इट
to
मेक
enhance the
ऑपरेशन
customer experience, to make the operations better, to give a consistent product. वहां से सोच शुरू हुई. And that is where we built on to say कि अगर मुझे कस्टमर का ऑर्डरिंग एक्सपीरियंस बेटर करना है, अगर मुझे इंश्योर करना है कि आई हैव द राइट प्रोडक्ट्स ऑलवेज अवेलेबल इन माई स्टोर, I'm able to make my team be able to track their every time of every order that is being made. Uh, all of that will happen only with technology. So वहाँ से शुरू हुआ. We over the period of time also built Chai Monk. That's a proprietary IoT chai bot. Patents भी हैं हमारे उसके लिए. And the entire idea there was कि if I want to give a consistent chai and I want to give consistent मेरी वाली chai, be it in Chandigarh, be it in Noida, be it in Bangalore, or be it in Chennai, right? I don't have to think twice now. अब मेरा my customer is getting the best perfect मेरी वाली chai that she wants to. So it started from customer के लिए क्या कर सकते हैं, operations को कैसे better कर सकते हैं, and then we built backwards from there. Not कि अच्छा we want to become a tech company and then we build.
So what is the working culture at Chayos? Because to engage people and to train them and to give them the culture where they will grow. So let's talk about the working culture at Chayos.
Working culture at Chayos is it is a place where you can get very high growth. We operate with lean teams. We expect very agile work from teams. At the same time, we expect a lot of ownership from. So you have to be the owner of the piece that you are working on. And this is not just in the HQ team. This is like our cafe managers. We call them as our cafe CEOs. So they are literally controlling every part of that cafe experience. They're literally the owner of that cafe. So high ownership, fast growth, high agility. That is how we define with good customer experience, good user.
So if I rewind the time 3 years ago, it was not a very good time from anybody, right? So having, matlab, us time jab we were going through a pandemic, how did Chayo survive at that moment of time when you were having cafes all around and a team to manage, a people to serve? So how all that thing happened and how did Chayos manage that time of pandemic?
That was a very very tough time. We saw uh, many of our cafes literally went to zero, and for a very long period of time there was no dine-in behavior. People were not coming into malls. People were not coming out into markets. All of the business parks were shut. Delivery definitely played a big role, and I think the entire team came together so well, and just in the first 1 or 2 weeks of the pandemic identified a lot of things that could be done. So for example, a lot of our landlords supported us by giving us rental waivers. uh, we we made a conscious call that look, we are not going to lay off anybody in our HQ team or in our cafe team. So working with that assumption, we had to then see that what all costs can we work on. How can we grow delivery as a business? How can we grow e-commerce as a business? So all of that work required everybody just coming together and executing. And a lot of magical things happened at that time. We grew very fast. Our P2C business, which is all our product, all of them grew very fast. Uh, so tough time. Had to work a lot on bringing in new innovation at the same time, controlling costs. And it was the team that actually got together and just decided everything within the first 2 weeks and then just executed, made it happen.
Back in 2013 when चाय started, so आपको लगता है कि जिस सोच से आपने चाय स्टार्ट करा था वो आपने इन 10 सालों में अचीव किया है या करना बाकी है, या वो अचीव करने के बाद सर्विस बेटर करना, या आपको एक मोटिवेशन मिलती है टू टेक चायोस टू अनदर लेवल? तो आई वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड कि चायोस, व्हाट इज द प्लानिंग एंड हाउ कैन वी सी चायोस गेटिंग देयर, और व्हाट आर द फ्यूचर प्लान्स?
या कंप्लीटली. सो आई थिंक ऐसा कुछ एक नंबर नहीं था कि 10 साल में करना है. What we visualized as what a Chayos cafe will look like, where all our Chayos can be, how are we going to serve customers, how are we going to create a chai culture in the country, chai culture of drinking chai outside of home. I'm pretty satisfied with what we've been able to do. I think we've actually created a brand that is something to be very proud of. Having said that, a lot of long way to go for us.
What I mean of Chayos is like, it is like आपने बोला कि how to create that culture कि people would bring chai out of their homes. So chai and Chayos can be called as a patriotic brand.
Yeah.
So because एक अगर मेरे को चाहिए चाय, I'm not shy enough now after Chayos came and I'm going to Chayos now and often, so I can very confidently ask for a chai. So that is, I feel, the accurate system of. So as we see the growth, so can you please define us on like any challenges that you went through in all these years in the growth of the brand and working culture and the team bond and everything? So there might have been some challenges where you felt something is not just going right after putting in a lot of efforts. And how did you sustain that? Because I feel that it is very important to give a message out of the people to the people so that they understand better to control themselves and sustain and wait for the right moment to arrive.
One of the biggest challenges in in your retail as an industry, when you're scaling up very fast, you're dealing with hiring a lot of new people. How can they become? Uh, how can they start to behave in the culture that China wants? Right? How can you still give that customer experience? How can you still have that kind of team culture? Uh, in 2015, when we went from, we were 7 cafes only then. So 7 से जो 25-30 की जो journey थी, it was a very rapid scale up for us. And we were just not ready at that time. So we expanded to Bombay also. I think we spread ourselves very thin. And at that point of time, we ended up getting a lot of bad customer experience reviews. Our NPS numbers, net promoter score, actually became negative for the first time. And at that point of time, we said that, look, we just don't want to scale up just for the sake of scaling up. So we actually stopped growing at that point of time. We said, abhi na kuch store nahi khulenge for the next 1 year. We'll focus on getting our experience in place. And from then on, to sustain that, we've always made it a point that we are not just getting growth for the sake of growth. We can only expand at that pace. We equip ourselves to expand at that pace so that the customer experience in a new store, in a new city, all of that is top notch. And that comes from culture of the team, that comes from training, and that comes from internal growth of people.
How confident were the investors when they were investing in your business? Because, for example, it's until the first store got opened for the people. So, how did you convince the people around and your family when, एक thought आता है दिमाग में कि चाय करनी है या चाय को बनाना है? Because that was all in your words, in your thoughts. Okay? Until it came into an execution, how did you manage that journey towards opening the first store and then to the rapid growth of 200 plus stores across India? So how, the convince कैसे करा आपने?
Convince karna has been a challenge all throughout, right? Because first store that was funded by us only. Second, third store onwards, we had an angel fund coming. Okay, so they were convinced to the performance. Then उसके बाद 7-8 store हुए, तो उसके बाद we had Tiger Global come in. They put in the first round. So they were very convinced कि what coffee is to the West, chai is to India, and that is what we are investing into, because there will be a big chai brand. But this is the success story finally.
Right.
But for every one investor who agrees to invest, there are probably 50 who have met you and said कि यार चाय का business नहीं चलेगा, right? So that is something that everybody should be ready to hear. That is what the case is. Trying to build something. A lot of people will doubt it, and a lot of people had said in the past, यार चाय तो टपरी में 5 रुपए की मिल रही है, चाय तो ऑफिस में फ्री में मिल रही है, और चाय can't be as cool as coffee can be. So for us also, it's been that journey of constantly proving that this is a very big market, and what we have created and what we are creating is something which is very relevant.
मैं भी ये जानना चाहता हूँ, लाइक चाय के साथ एक हर किसी का एक बॉन्ड होता है, राइट? टू स्टार्ट दिस एज अ बिजनेस, आपकी और चाय की क्या आपस की बॉन्डिंग थी, वो क्या है?
And chai, so always have been a chai drinker. Nitin, in fact, was the one who worked on all of those chai recipes to begin. And aaj tak bhi, meri wali chai, which is the customized chai, that is still the top selling. So I think we just look for what additional experiences can we bring into that chai drinking occasion. Chai ka, like you said, right? Every customer who comes to us has that relationship with chai, and they also have that kind of warm, home-like relationship with chaios, and that's the thing which we also continuously try to build.
I have seen people talking about chayos in a very positive manner because एक emotion connect हुआ है. Chai is an emotion.
Yes, absolutely.
That is all about chayos and all. So in railways we see chayos. So chayos has traveled now to every city and everywhere now. And so how did you manage to get railways?
So we've been working with IRCTC for almost. We were one of the first to start off with the train catering service. People can order inside the train and they get their chai delivered. We had started that. then when we started to work with the airlines, we also approached that, we have these instant ready to make chai sachets, which you can mix in hot water, which is a great product. अब वही होता है कि railways में took some time, but the product was really good. We had to work on the product because costing is something that obviously at that scale you need to work on that. But yeah, it's been a business that has been growing. We are also part of some of the airlines like Lufthansa. We are serving chai. So on all the flights out of India coming to India, we are doing.
A lot of youngsters out, and they pass out from the hotel schools having the basic knowledge of food and beverage. How feasible is for them to start a startup right after their education, or they must wait and get some experience? Because today they are very hefty. They lack a lot of patience. So because if somebody is having a backup of funds, so how feasible is that to invest that and create something having known? So please elaborate so that people can have a better understanding, so that students should go on the right path.
See, the sooner that you start up, the better, because as you progress, you have more responsibilities, then it becomes more challenging to start up. Having said that, I think it always makes sense to work for a few years. Few could be one, could be two, could be three, four, whatever. Enough examples of people who have started in college only and they have scaled up. So there is no one right formula, but the earlier the better. Actually.
Okay, so that's a kind of an eye opener that you gave us, and gave us insight about what is all about Chayos and a brand. So anything that we can expect out of Chayos in coming year, like any boom kind of thing that is happening, that we can see Chayos at some point of time growing abroad lands.
Not in the immediate future, but we definitely want to do that.
Great, then.
We definitely want to do that because we think that good Indian chai, good Indian snacks, there's no real concept for it globally. And whenever we travel abroad, we also always feel that need.
So need is because need यहाँ पर भी है, need वहाँ पर भी है. So because the need को balance करना बड़ा important. Need को balance करना important है. So you have given us, or to all the Indians, a factor that हाँ हमारे पास चाय like Starbucks है, that has created a market for itself. You have created a market. You have not entered the market. You have created the market. So thank you very much for your time, and I'm very grateful that to have an insight of Chayos from the founder itself. So thank you very much for doing.
Thank you so much. Thank you.